One of the things that I've noticed is that I think young people are listened to a bit more, particularly the Youth Forum as an organisation, just from the circles I'm working in, the managers I'm working with at the moment, from other departments and other services. I think they recognise the voice of young people differently. On a practical level, in terms of outcomes, I know that two of the local authority officers in community planning have been in touch with the Youth Forum and with the community workers that work with the Youth Forum to look at some practical input to things like park lighting, because I know that was an issue that came up in the youth consultation. So we've now got officers of the council phoning up and contacting young people and community workers and saying, could young people have an involvement in this then, because we know they've raised it as an issue. So for me, I think that's really important. That means that young people are able to get things recognised and dealt with. It's given really good food for thought. I think it's pinned people down to, particularly around the lack of things to do, the lack of activities and some thinking around that. It's been really good because it's pinned people down. I think for a long time folk have said there's not enough in this area for young people to do, but what your exercise has done is it's pinned that down a bit and allowed people to look at it in a concrete way. I thought it was done in a very innovative way, and I know there's been lots of positive comment on the film aspect of it. And the fact that one of the young people themselves had made the soundtrack to the film, there's a lot of innovation around that, and I think that's captured people's imaginations. So people have listened to the message more than they would have if it had just been a report on paper that was handed out to people. I think that the method you used there was really good. So I can't think of a better way that you could have presented all of that. And I think it was quite imaginative the way that you portrayed the feedback with post-its and some of the kind of dramatisation of it all was all very interesting. I think it's something that has changed our work and made us much more focused in our team, certainly.
I thought it was a great exercise really in giving young people responsibility for shaping aspects of their own future and aspects of the local community. My involvement, or the school's involvement, was, as I say, to make sure young people are getting a context in which their ability to take a lead role is encouraged. And certainly as a school, that's one thing we try and mirror what the people in the Youth Forum have been doing by giving them opportunities to take such responsibility in the school. It very publicly showed and showcased really the talents young people have, and the fact that they are committed to making this area as good as they can, not perhaps as sometimes they're more negatively portrayed as causing difficulties in this area. We must try and provide opportunities for youngsters to have positions of responsibility, because this is another example of when they're given responsibility, they take it extremely well and do very good things, and good things emerge from it. I thought it was really thorough, it was extremely professional from start to finish. There was one minor issue I recall regarding maybe some of the participants not knowing how or where their input would be later shown and publicised. I think the real question in terms of the quality of the exercise is not in the exercise itself, but ensuring that there is now impact following the exercise.
Well, I was really impressed with the youth consultation. To me it was community planning in action. Community planning is really important. It's about reflecting the needs of the community based on feedback that we get from the community, such as your consultation. I think what's very important is that you've actually gathered that evidence from young people, gone out and spoken to young people about their concerns and got that feedback, which then helps to create a case, which in turn helps to secure funding and get initiatives into a programme of work in the future. If we've actually got that evidence through a robust and sound survey such as the one that you've done. A number of the objectives that are within the community plan are there because we have the evidence of need from your youth consultation exercise. You identified that there was a lack of information for young people, and tackled that not only in the Mearns, but went to speak to your counterparts in other parts of Kilgarvan and Mearns to produce an information leaflet providing critical information for young people to know where to go to access various services and information. A group of young people, yourself included, came along and spoke to the local community planning group and the area management team of the council, which means that the people that can help you to make the changes that you think are necessary are hearing firsthand the results of the consultation. So I think that's a very robust way of taking the whole thing to a sensible conclusion. As far as the learning experience is concerned, it's something that I think could be rolled out and demonstrated to groups of young people and indeed all sectors of our community, so that they can learn from your experience and good practice that you've followed, and do the same in their own communities to look at the issues that affect them.
MAP is Mearns Area Partnership, which is a local rural partnership which is based in Lawrencekirk but covers the Mearns area and St Cyrus. It's made up of statutory, voluntary and community groups. I thought that the youth consultation was an excellent piece of work, and I think it was very encouraging that it was actually carried out by the young people, and that you'd put the questions together and identified what you wanted to know and what you wanted to ask the community. One of the positive things that came out of it was that young people had identified actually a lot of issues that are good about their village. A lot of people did have good things to say about their village, and that was very encouraging, because sometimes it's perceived that young people have just got nothing good to say about anything. But also it's identified for us the gap of not having a young person, and I think having young people involved has made a significant effect on some of the work that MAP have done since this consultation, where we've been actively able to involve young people, and it's made a whole wealth of difference to what we've done. My only comment would be, because I wasn't able to attend the feedback session, and I think that quite a lot of people weren't able to go, it might have been nice had you done 2 evenings so that people could have had an alternative. Because I think although you give an opinion yourself, if you're actually at a meeting, you think more because you're involved in discussion, but that would really be my only comment. No, it was a very good piece of work.
You name 1 or 2 outcomes of the Mearns Youth consultation.
One of the ones which really struck me, in fact, was the publication of your little booklet, your pocket guide, which was absolutely excellent. To see that now available over a wide range of communities and for a lot of youngsters is terrific. So there's tangible evidence of what you managed to do. From a community council point of view, it's pointed us in, it's reinforced what we've probably known all along, where we've got big gaps in the provision for young people in and around Lawrencekirk. I think another thing which we definitely need to do as quickly as possible is to get some liaison with the hall committees to make village halls more available to out of hours at weekends for a range of activities. So it's some of these initiatives which I think we can push forward on your behalf. Perhaps, you know, consult a bit wider next time. I mean, you know, you have your own concerns as young people in the community, but so do mums and dads and other people too, and somehow we've got to get together and all manage to pull together to provide a range of resources that will be useful to everybody. Swimming pool being one. I think you should certainly follow it up at the earliest opportunity and rattle a few cages with people who promised to do things and haven't delivered. The local authority is going to be cash strapped, there's no question about that, about what it can do, but that doesn't stop you continuing to agitate, continuing to keep pressure onto those people that can make decisions which will influence your lives here in and around the Mearns. So don't stop your action, keep going.
Were you surprised about the way the results were received?
Well, sometimes yeah, a lot of the people in the council and other members of the community were like, oh, I didn't know this, and you know, it's good to see that now they do know it, so they can go on and do things about it.
And do you think it has made a difference for young people locally?
Well, now I think that they're asking us as the forum to a lot more things. So like they know that they want our involvement, and because we know what's going on with the youth, So they're starting to take young people's opinions into consideration more often now, I think.
Do you think that has made a difference for young people locally?
I think so, yeah.
Why?
It's because, well, people are taking, adults and other community groups are taking in young people's opinions more now, because we've raised awareness that young people don't think they're asked a lot about what they want in their lives. And, well, like the things, the outcomes of the youth consultation, like the groups and the K&M Pocket Guide, they've offered something to young people too.
Was it a good thing to have done?
Definitely, yeah. Getting them to be involved was definitely a good thing to do. Because, well, it was getting them involved in a thing that they're not often involved in. And they should be more involved in it, because they've got to take into consideration us as well as young people, and not just like the needs of other folk.
Your actions flow into our future. Do you hear us now?
Last thing they were talking about youth consultation, and for like a month I didn't know what they were talking about.